The main characteristic of living organism is their ability to reproduce. The information which makes each individual life form unique must be preserved and passed on to the progeny. All life forms use nucleic acids for the storage of genetic information. Except for few viruses, the biomolecule utilized by living organisms for information storage is DNA. DNA is chemically stable and can encode vast amounts of information, hence is very well suited for this purpose. Besides DNA, RNA and proteins play equally important roles. The interrelationship of these three classes of molecules constitute the central dogma of molecular biology, which states that DNA stores information that determines the sequence of RNA, which in turn determines the structure of protein. Genetic information is transmitted from DNA to RNA by transcription. The sequence of RNA is then translated into a protein sequence at the ribosome. DNA also plays an important role in heredity by serving as the template for its own replication. The first evidence that DNA is the genetic material was found during the 1920s, but the definite role of DNA as genetic material was established in 1944 using pneumococcus, the pneumonia causing microorganism, and final evidences came from T4 bacteriophage. The structural components of nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are linear polymers of nucleotide units. Each nucleotide consists of a phosphate ester, a pentose sugar and a heterocyclic nucleobase. In RNA, the sugar is D-ribose, while in DNA it is 2-deoxy-D-ribose. In both, the nucleobase is attached to the first position of the sugar by beta N glycosidic bond. The major nucleobases found in nucleic acids belong to two classes, purines and pyrimidines. Nucleobases. The major purines are guanine and adenine, which occur in both DNA and RNA and are attached to the sugar at N9. The three major pyrimidines are cytosine, uracil and thymine. Cytosine is present in both DNA and RNA, uracil found only in RNA and thymine found only in DNA. The pyrimidine is linked to the sugar through the N1 position. Now, let us talk about nucleosides. A nucleobase glycosylated with a pentose sugar is a nucleoside. Nucleosides that contain ribose are ribonucleosides, while those with deoxyribose are deoxyribonucleosides. 4 ribonucleosides are commonly found in RNA: adenosine, guanosine, uridine and cytidine. Similarly, the 4 deoxyribonucleosides in DNA are deoxyadenosine, deoxyguanosine, deoxythymidine and deoxycytidine. The nucleotides. Nucleotides are phosphate esters of nucleosides. Any of the hydroxyl groups on their sugars can be phosphorylated, but bases are not. Nucleotides that contain a phosphate monoester are nucleoside monophosphates. Example, the 5' nucleotide of deoxycytidine is deoxycytidine 5' monophosphate. More than one phosphate can be linked by an anhydride linkage, resulting in the corresponding di, tri and tetraphosphate esters. The 5' triphosphate of guanosine is guanosine 5' triphosphate. Phosphate diesters are also formed, mainly the second messenger, adenosine 3' 5' cyclic monophosphate or cyclic AMP, and guanosine 3' 5' cyclic monophosphate or cyclic GMP. The present module focuses on the structure of DNA. Nucleic acids are strands of nucleotides linked by phosphodiester bonds. The length of these strands ranges from 2 residues to 100 or millions of residues. The phosphate group is a strong acid with a pKa value of about 1.0, hence DNA and RNA are called nucleic acids. Every residue in DNA or RNA molecule carries a negative charge at physiological pH. The nucleic acid strands containing 50 or few more nucleotides are oligonucleotides, whereas the longer nucleotides are polynucleotides. The phosphodiester bond links the 5' hydroxyl group of one residue to the 3' hydroxyl group of the next residue. The directions 5' and 3' indicates the directionality and shows that linear oligo and polynucleotides have one end that terminates in a 5' OH and another that terminates in a 3' OH. These ends are referred to as 5' and 3' terminus. Circular polynucleotides have no free terminus. The chemical diversity arises mainly from the bases. The base sequence provides each DNA molecule with a unique chemical identity, and these correspond to the difference in amino acid sequence in proteins. Now, let us talk about the double helical structure of DNA. When DNA was identified as the molecule of heredity, the structural basis for information storage was also identified. Synthetic and X-ray diffraction experiments led to the acceptance of a linear polynucleotide structure for DNA. A few important features were helpful in deduction of the three-dimensional structure of DNA. DNA did not contain equal amounts of the 4 nucleosides, but variable amounts in different organisms. Erwin Chergaff measured the relative amounts of A, T, G and C in DNA from many organisms and found that A and T were found in nearly equal quantities as G and C. This indicates the pairing deoxyadenine with deoxythymidine and deoxyguanosine with deoxycytidine. The X-ray diffraction data suggested that DNA contained double helical structures, and symmetry suggested that the two polynucleotide strands were oriented anti-parallel to each other. The nucleobases were in the keto and amino tautomeric forms rather than enol and imino forms. The Watson and Crick model of double helical DNA. In 1953, Watson and Crick proposed a model which was simple and symmetrical. This model could explain the mechanism for storage and replication of genetic information. The Watson-Crick double helix can be visualized as the interwinding of two right-handed helical polynucleotide strands around a common axis. The strands achieve contact through hydrogen bonds formed at the hydrophilic edges of the bases. These hydrogen bonds extend between purine residues in one strand and pyrimidine residues in the other. The base pairing is adenine thymine and guanine cytosine through hydrogen bonds. Hence, ratio of nucleosides agree with dA is equal to dt and dC is equal to dG. The relationship between bases on opposing strands within the double helix is complementarity. The bases are complementary because every nucleobase of one strand is matched by shape and hydrogen bonding to a complementary base on the other strand. The hydrogen bonding specificities ensure that the entire base sequence of one strand is complementary to that of the other strand. Adenine and thymine form 2 hydrogen bonds and guanine and cytosine form 3 hydrogen bonds. The exterior of the double helix consists of a sugar phosphate backbone of its component strands. The two strands are aligned in opposite directions. If two adjacent nucleobases in one strand, example thymine and cytosine, are connected in the 5' to 3' direction, their complementary nucleobases on the other strand, adenine and guanine, will be linked in 3' to 5' direction. This anti-parallel alignment produces a stable association between the strands. Interwinding of the two anti-parallel strands produces a structure that has two distinct helical grooves, the wider major groove and the narrow minor groove between the sugar phosphate backbone. The proteins that bind to DNA often fit into these grooves. The helix is long and thin with approximately 10 base pairs per helical turn of 34 angstrom. The rise per residue is 3.4 angstrom. Each base pair is rotated by 36 degrees, that is 1/10 of a 360-degree rotation with respect to the next to accommodate 10 base pairs in each turn of the helix. The model is a double helix in which the two polynucleotide strands are coiled about one another in a spiral fashion with a uniform diameter of 20 angstrom. DNA also exists in some alternative conformations. 3 alternative conformations of DNA have been identified by X-ray diffraction methods. These are aDNA, bDNA and zDNA. However, the average overall structure of DNA in living organisms is bDNA. bDNA. This DNA is highly flexible and the commonly found type. Variations may occur locally in conformation of individual nucleotides. These variations are important in regulation of gene expression since they can influence the extent of DNA binding with different regulatory proteins. The helix is long and thin with 10 base pairs per helical turn. The rise per residue is 3.4 angstrom. The next type is aDNA. aDNA structure is shorter and thicker. There are about 11 base pairs per helical turn with a vertical rise of 2.56 angstrom per residue. In order to accommodate the thickness of the bases, the base pair is tilted 20 degrees from the plane perpendicular to the helical axis. There is a very deep major groove and a shallow minor groove. Low humidity favors the aDNA structure that exposes more hydrophobic surfaces to the solvent. The third type is zDNA. zDNA is a different left-handed double helical conformation for double-stranded DNA. It is generally observed in sequences with alternating purines and pyrimidines. The phosphodiester backbone assumes a zigzag arrangement, hence named Z-DNA. The structure is longer and much thinner than that of B-DNA, and one complete turn is 12 base pairs. The minor groove is very deep and contains the helical axis. The stacked nucleobases are placed at the outer part of Z-DNA rather than their conventional position in the interior of the double helix. Z-DNA form of DNA has not been detected in vivo. The non-canonical structures of DNA. The canonical B-DNA is not straight, monotonous and uniform. In fact, DNA bends and forms unusual structures such as cruciforms or triple-stranded arrangements as it interacts with certain proteins. These variations in structures and conformations are favored by specific DNA sequence motifs like inverted repeats, palindromes, mirror and direct repeats. The first type is bent DNA. The DNA sequences with runs of 4 to 6 adenines separated by 10 base pairs spacers produce bent DNA. DNA bending helps in the interaction between DNA sequences and proteins that catalyze replication, transcription and site-specific recombination. The cruciform structure. Disruption of hydrogen bonds between the complementary strands and formation of intra-strand hydrogen bonds within the region of an inverted repeat produces cruciform structure. The inverted repeats, also found in human, serve as molecular switches for replication and transcription. The triple-stranded DNA. Some polynucleotides such as polydeoxyadenine and polydeoxythymine combine to form triple-stranded complexes rather than the expected double helices. Base stacking plays a key role in stabilizing the triplex structure, still it is comparatively unstable. Many sequences in eukaryotic genomes form these structures and these help in gene regulation, control RNA synthesis, initiation and termination of replication and recombination. The 4-stranded DNA. Guanine nucleotides and highly guanine-rich polynucleotides form novel tetrameric structures called G-quartets that contain a planar array of guanines connected by hydrogen bonds. The telomeres contain repetitive G-rich sequences. These serve as targets for new anti-cancer chemotherapies, recombination of immunoglobulin genes and dimerization of double-stranded genomic RNA of HIV. The slipped DNA. DNA regions with direct repeat symmetry can form slipped mispaired DNA, SMP DNA. This involves unwinding of the double helix, realignment and subsequent pairing of one copy of the direct repeat with an adjacent copy on the other strand. These mechanisms are the basis of several human genetic diseases. Now, let us talk about the higher order structures of DNA. Except a few RNA viruses, all life on earth uses DNA to store genetic information. The length of DNA varies from species to species and ranges from a few thousand base pairs for small viruses to millions of base pairs in bacteria and to billions of base pairs in plants and animals. In all organisms, the contour length of genomic DNA is much larger than the size of the cell that contains it. The linear and circular DNA. Except for some small bacteriophages like 5X174, which are single stranded, most DNA exist as double helical complexes. These can be linear or circular. In higher organisms also, DNA is linear. Circular DNA results from the formation of phosphodiester bonds between the 3' and 5' termini of linear polynucleotides. The circular DNA of phage 5X174 was confirmed using electron microscopy. Most bacterial DNA, mainly bacterial chromosomes and the smaller extrachromosomal plasmid DNA, exist as closed circles. In higher eukaryotic cells, circular DNA is found in yeast, mitochondria and chloroplast. The superhelical DNA. The circular double-stranded DNA formed by ligating the free termini of a linear DNA is relaxed, that is, it has a thermodynamically favored structure of bDNA. This relaxed DNA has greatly reduced activity in replication, translation and recombination. The biologically active form of DNA is superhelical, topographically strained isomer created by underwinding or overwinding the double helix. Underwound DNA is said to be negatively supercoiled and the resulting superhelix is right-handed, while overwound DNA is positively supercoiled and forms a left-handed superhelix. Irrespective of whether DNA is circular or linear, the existence of negative superhelicity appears to be an important feature. Supercoiling promotes packaging of DNA within the confines of the cell by facilitating the formation of compact structures. Superhelices also possess a tendency to generate regions with disrupted hydrogen bonding bubbles, which may be helpful in facilitating the process of localized DNA strand separation during DNA repair, synthesis and recombination. Now, let us talk about the packaging of DNA. In prokaryotes, the single chromosome is a supercoiled double-stranded circular DNA. It is packaged in a highly condensed form to fit inside the cell in the form of compact structures called nucleoids by participation of some proteins and some cations, polyamines, RNA and non-histone proteins. In eukaryotic cells, the DNA is packaged in the form of nucleosome along with histone proteins. Between the nucleosomes is 20 to 90 base pairs of linker DNA. Now, let us discuss the functions of DNA. DNA is responsible for a number of biological activities. They encode specific proteins. Many prokaryotic DNA code for specific proteins. Storage of genetic information, that is the genome. Replication, DNA to DNA, the process essential for continued life of each organism on earth. Transcription, DNA to RNA, the first step of expression of genetic information. In this, genes are transcribed into complementary RNA molecules. Translation, RNA to proteins. Many functional RNA molecules are involved in protein synthesis. Manipulating DNA. Genetic changes may be brought about via recombinant DNA technology. Genes or other DNA sequences can be retrieved from any part of the genome and cloned. The DNA carrying specific genes of higher organisms can be made to direct protein expression in bacteria. Example, insulin and blood clotting factors can be safely and cheaply made. Protein functions can be understood by studying translation products. To study physiological and biochemical effects of modified proteins by reinserting modified DNA into the organism. To produce new traits by inserting the genes from one kind of organism into the genome of the other kind. Now, let us conclude. DNA has been proved to be the genetic material in all organisms except a few viruses. Its double helical structure has been well studied. Besides bDNA, the most commonly occurring DNA form, there are aDNA and zDNA also. DNA may be linear, circular or superhelical. It has a number of functions to play in living organisms.